Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. On this channel, we cut through the hype and the noise, and I give you the non-biased information you can use to hopefully capitalize on the biggest opportunity in history. And I truly believe this bull run has the opportunity to change the average person's future. I really do. That's why I founded this channel. One thing you have to have is unbiased information. If you don't understand what you're investing in, or you've been lied to, or you find biased information, well, guys, good luck. Now, in this video, we're going to dive into ICP. A lot of people will tell you it's the best tech out there. And we're going to talk about some of the really good things that ICP does. I don't think that's even open for debate. But one thing I really want to share with you guys is the good and the bad, or the downside risk. And then I want you to be able to answer the question, is good tech enough to make ICP or any project a good investment? Because that's one thing that I see people doing wrong all across crypto. They find these great projects, they get tribal about certain things, they think it's bigger, it's faster, whatever. But guys, you have to understand the big picture. You have to understand how it was set up. Was it set up to allow retail to even make any money? A lot of these projects just launch like ICP did back in the day, which is a whole different story, and they just rug pulled. All the early investors, all the VCs, all the founders got crazy rich. It was set up to do that. Now, a lot of people would say, that FTX did that, but either way, guys, it was a rug pull, and the people that walked away from ICP made a lot of money. Now, that was fixed, or I don't even think we would be talking about it. I definitely would not have bought ICP, which I have in the past, and I still own a little bit. But anyway, hit the like button. Let's dive into the good, the bad, and the ugly of ICP and find out if it's still a good investment for the bull run. All right, hit that like button. All right, when you look on this page, you see the market cap, and then you go over here and you see the circulating supply, and you see the total supply. But what do you not see? The max supply. And that's what we're going to talk about. That's the red flag and the thing you have to understand about ICP. Now, before I do that, let's talk about all the good things. I'm just going to give you the fact, just for argument's sake, that ICP has the best tech. Let's just say it does. I don't think so, but I will say that the cloud computing storage of ICP, the decentralization, and that is cutting edge. It's very, very good. And we'll touch back on that if I remember. And then the reason I personally bought ICP is ICP can be a layer 2 for Ethereum and for Bitcoin. And I personally thought, man, with the tech and the speed of ICP, if it's a layer 2, which came out first, the ability for Bitcoin, I think that's right. I was like, man, that is, because I'm extremely bullish on the Bitcoin ecosystem. I was like, that is going to take off. Well, unfortunately, very little, if any, adoption. Well, they came out with some of the great tech to be a layer 2. So all this great tech of ICP for Ethereum, well, that didn't take off either. So I didn't get the returns I wanted to. I did make a profit. I didn't take my profits in the amounts that I normally would, or that I wish I would. But the next pump for me, I'm out of here. But not FUD. Just hear me out. Now, All right, the part that I showed you that wasn't filled in is because no one can answer what the max supply is for ICP. It doesn't have a max supply. And it does have a level once it gets fully diluted that it can't inflate more than, I believe, 10%, but it'd be between 5 and 10%. Now, it can actually go deflationary, but for the most part, it's one of the very, very few projects out there, and I can't think of any other ones outside of Ethereum, but Ethereum, for the most part, is not a concern because it is literally deflationary, especially when the bull market kicks in. So that's not a concern at all. But it's very rare that you have a project that you can't calculate the inflation rate for a month or for a year. XRP is the same way. We have no idea how much inflation XRP will have every month. Maybe Ripple dumps the billion tokens that they have access to if they want, or they just dump the roughly 200 million tokens that they normally do. Well, those are red flags, and I don't like that. That being said, I want to make it very clear, guys. In a bull run, especially when altcoin season gets here, any project with any amount of inflation for the most part can absolutely rip. And when you have bad tokenomics or big unlocks, doesn't mean that whoever has access to that supply are going to sell and take profits. They may let it build up and wait, take them next month, the next month. They don't have to sell. But for the most part, if you're smart enough to be involved in the unlocks, you're smart enough to take profits in the bull run. And normally, a lot of times, when they're taking profits, that's your signal to take your profits because they're definitely the smart money. Now, check this out, guys. In 19 days, September 11th, look what this says. Unlock round 1. When you scroll down here, and guys, if you want to read all about it and study it, it's cryptorank.io. But when you scroll down on September 11th, 199.4 million ICP valued at $1.6 billion is going to be unlocked. Doesn't mean they're all going to dump it. Who knows? But it's going to increase the supply. The following month, they're going to dump or unlock. I shouldn't say the word dump. They're going to unlock another 1.6 billion, which is over 200 million, 201 million tokens. The next month, the next month, the next month. So you see where I'm going with that. Now, why is that important? Because, guys, if we slow down anytime, like we have been, any project that has this type of inflation rate is going to just get hammered and more hammered, just like ICP has done, right? When you have really good tokenomics and no inflation, you don't have that downside risk. Is you don't have to increase the new money coming into an ecosystem. And I'll explain a little bit more about that in a minute. But now, one thing I want to explain to you guys about why inflation and tokenomics are so important. I'm going to give you a metaphor, right? If you have 20 people going to Thanksgiving, right, and there's one pie, one big pie, well, the foundation or the VCs or whoever is involved and get the unlock tokens, well, that's the big chubby Uncle Ralph at the end of the table. And he's always taking the biggest piece of the pie, always. And if you go to Thanksgiving like me, in this example, the men sit at the back. Well, the men represent the hodlers. So you let the women and children go fill their plates. Well, if you're a hodler and you don't sell in this bull run, that's like all the pie's gone in Thanksgiving. You're in the back of the line. Now, here's the worst part, and here's what you really have to understand. For you like, that's fine. I don't really like pie. Next year I'll get more. And they promise to make the pie bigger for Thanksgiving. Well, there's no guarantee that that pie is bigger next Thanksgiving. But we do know this. That pie is going to cost more money, and we're going to have more people to pitch in to build that bigger pie for next Thanksgiving. So next Thanksgiving, not only do we have a bigger pie, and our chubby uncle, he's taking a bigger cut, but instead of having 20 people, now we have 30. And you're the hodler, right? You're the man in the back of the room, lets everyone go first. You still didn't get any pie. So the point about that, if that makes any sense to you guys, if you don't reach in there and take your cut of pie, there's no guarantee you'll ever get a piece of pie at any Thanksgiving. And there's an above average chance that you don't, due to the fact that 90% of all projects, and it's going to get worse and worse, 90% of all projects ever created in crypto never makes a new all-time high in its second bull run. And that's mainly outside of the rug pulls and all the craziness. That's even with the good projects with real world utility. That's because of tokenomics. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And I'm not here, it's kind of weird. I'm not here to FUD projects. I don't FUD projects. I have real honest, open, non-biased conversations. And I've never met a wealthy person in all my life that don't want to talk about the downside of their money. People don't take their money serious in crypto. They listen to just anyone. They don't even want to hear the fact. Watch in the comments. You'll see all the hate, right? And they'll be calling me names and be calling things FUD. It's crazy. Guys, I don't care what you do with your money, but I want you to understand ICP is a great project. It has great tech. But let's talk about reality. And again, guys, not here to harp. I own ICP, but I'm not going to shill ICP. And all I want two things for you. I want you to be in the 10% club. 90% of people in crypto are going to lose money. And no matter whether you make money or not, I want you to have a full understanding of the risk and the reward, the downside, everything about anything you stack. Then you at least have a chance. So I'm going to tell you something that you really got to think about. And this is just my opinion, but it's a solid opinion with a lot of merit if you just think it through. Okay. ICP is just trying to move into, say, Web3 computing, cloud computing, and everything they do with their storage. Let's say it's the best on the planet. Okay? Well, who has all the customers and who dominates? There's three players with unlimited money: Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. Now, the reason they have not moved into Web3, cloud storage, and all that is there's no need, right? People have trillions of dollars in that cloud as it sits. So no one's sitting back worried about getting better cloud storage. That's one point. The second point is they have all the customers. And when it's time to to move into Web3, just like Swift just went live with their own new protocol that's being used without XRP and without XLM and Algo being part of it, which even though they're ISO certified, they're not, the rails are not running into Swift as we speak. Now, here's the point about having all the customers. The reason Google and the other players haven't moved into Web3 and are worried about that great decentralized tech is because it's not regulated. And Why would they go spend billions of dollars when it could literally get destroyed by regulation, and you can let the other people create really, really good projects, and you figure out what's good and what's bad, and you duplicate it, you buy it, you clone it. It's just code and software. That's all it is. So they have the customers, they have the unlimited money. So in the future, you can bet when it's go time, no matter how great ICP or any project out there is, it's going to get bulldozed by the dominant players in the world that have the money, the power, and the customers. That's just the way of life. And if you hodl thinking that I'm wrong, guys, good luck. I hate the fact of how the world works, but we can make money if we understand the game. All right. That being said, let's look at the chart. That is the year to date chart. That does not look good. But it did rally since the bear market. Let me see here. Hold on a second. Let's look at the last 12 months. That's not a bad chart. Now, this gets to my point, guys. The whole point I harp on this is not to spread FUD. It's to educate people. But, I do one-on-one coaching, and one thing I see, which I had no idea when I first started coaching, almost everyone came to me because they didn't take profits. They made a lot of money. Some people made life-changing, mind-blowing money, and they didn't take profits, guys. Look, let's think about this. ICP was around $3, ran to almost $20. That's a 6.5x. Smart money, what I do, what I teach, which I would have took a handful there no matter what, and another handful there, and definitely a handful there. But guys, if you do a 3-4x on any project, at least consider taking out your initial investment at a minimum. So if you put $10,000 in ICP in the end of 2023, guys, you could have easily doubled, tripled your money, pulled it out, still have more than you put in, and you had that money on the side, or you had it in different projects, or you could even buy it back. Those guys, they always come back. That's what I want to convey. So, that being said, guys, in my opinion, not financial advice, don't hodl projects like ICP. I know Jerry Banfield used to harp on it, saying it's going to change the world, but what if it doesn't? What if you go to Thanksgiving 10 years from now and you've never tasted grandma's pie? Well, I'm going to get my pie, and I want you to get your pie, guys. So from this price point, you could call that a double bottom. I have no doubt that people stacking ICP right here, maybe dollar cost average in, take a look at the charts, probably going to do okay. I think my absolute best scenario for ICP, if you want to be realistic, is maybe a 10x, which puts it up there with where XRP is. I don't see that happening, but if it does happen, you can almost guarantee it's just going to be a 2 or 3 day huge green candle, and it's coming back. And no matter what, guys, this has nothing to do with ICP, but ICP is this way. Because of tokenomics of all projects, because of the cyclicalness of crypto and everything about it, how they're not securities, they're not stocks, they trade like commodities. When this bull runs over, it's going to all come crashing back down. And I don't know for the life of me why someone would want to put in $10,000 and watch it go to say 150,000 and ride it back down to 17,000 or back to 3,000 and hold it for 3 or 4 or 5 years. There's never, let me just give you some data. There's never been a crypto, including Bitcoin, that hasn't crashed at least 85% in a bear market ever. So there's 100%, pretty much 99.9% guarantee that any altcoin that you own, no matter how high it goes or how high it doesn't go, cut your losses, even if you lost money, is no matter what, the odds are 90% would be a really good point. So if you put in $10,000 and it pumped to $100,000, 90% of that is coming back. All right, guys, that's all I got. I do one-on-one coaching if you guys need some help in any category. Dollar cost averaging in, comparing projects, understanding tokenomics, getting a game plan, which is important. It's only $250 for 3 Zoom or phone calls. Now, whether you take me up on that or not, this isn't financial advice, but really consider getting a game plan, work that game plan, and take profits, or you're going to become the profits. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Are you stacking ICP? Are you going to swing trade, which I think it would be a great swing trade. The only reason I'm not swing trading ICP really right now is there's just better projects out there. And again, guys, 2 things about that. I want to make myself clear. And if you see it this way, I think it'll help you in the long run. Best tech is not correlated with best investments, right? Period. And I forgot my other point. So I'm going to leave it at that. All right, guys, hit the like button and come back and be part of this community. Subscribe.